Close your eyes for a second. Picture the last time you sat in traffic. Look at the cars around you. What do you see? A sea of gray blobs, angry headlights, SUVs that look like angry kitchen appliances, computer-generated shapes designed by wind tunnels and safety regulations, devoid of a pulse, devoid of a soul. Now open your eyes and let me take you back. There was a moment in time, a brief, glorious window in the 1960s, when the family car wasn't just a utility vehicle, it was a rolling sculpture. It was a statement. It was a time when designers were artists, not accountants, and they were given a blank check to build the American dream out of steel, glass, and chrome. We're talking about the station wagon. Today, the word wagon might conjure up images of boring school runs, but 55 years ago, these machines were the kings of the interstate. They were 18-foot-long land yachts that floated over the pavement, dripping with luxury and styled with an audacity that would get a modern car designer fired. Today, we are counting down the 5 most beautiful American wagons of the 1960s. These are the designs that defy logic, the ones that make you stop and ask, why don't we build anything this beautiful anymore? And stick around, because the wagon at number 1 isn't just a car, it is quite possibly the most elegant piece of industrial design ever sold to the American public, a vehicle so stunning it makes a modern luxury SUV look like a cardboard box. Let's fire up the engine. Coming in at number 5, we have the twilight of the jet age, the 1960 Chevrolet Nomad. If you look at cars from 1960, you can see the world was changing. The massive tail fins of the 50s were dying out, but they weren't gone yet. They were evolving. The 1960 Nomad captures that exact moment where the rocket ship met the road. Just look at the rear end of this thing. It doesn't have vertical fins like a shark. It has horizontal wings like a seagull in mid-flight. The lines sweep from the front headlights all the way back in a continuous, uninterrupted stroke of genius called the flat wing design. It makes the car look like it's doing 100 miles an hour while parked in a driveway. But the real magic of the 60 Nomad is the glass. Notice the wraparound rear windows? The pillars are so thin they almost vanish. Sitting in the back of this wagon wasn't like sitting in a car. It was like sitting in an observation deck. Here is something most people don't know. The 1960 Nomad was actually the end of an era. It was the last time the Nomad nameplate was used on a top-trim 2-door style body before it became just a trim level for standard sedans. It was the final breath of the atomic age styling before the slab-sided 60s took over. It is aggressive, it is space age, and it is unapologetically wide. But as we moved deeper into the decade, the obsession with rockets faded, replaced by an obsession with something else, pure, pillarless elegance. That brings us to number 4, a car that technically shouldn't exist by modern safety standards, which is exactly why it's so mesmerizing. The 1961 Chrysler New Yorker Town and Country. This wagon is rare. We are talking about a production run of fewer than 800 units. Seeing one today is like spotting a unicorn in the wild. But look at the roofline. Do you see it? Or rather, do you see what's missing? There is no B-pillar. This is a 4-door hardtop wagon. When you roll all 4 windows down, there is nothing separating the front seat from the back. It creates this cavernous, open-air experience that simply does not exist in modern motoring. It turned a family hauler into a convertible with a roof. Design-wise, this is peak Virgil Exner, the legendary designer who believed cars should have faces. The front grille creates a V-shape, the headlights are slanted aggressively like a bird of prey, and the rear fins start low and rise up, capped with chrome boomerangs. It is weird, wonderful, and spectacularly complex. Inside, you weren't met with plastic. You were met with an Astrodome instrument cluster, a 3-dimensional gauge pod that glowed with electroluminescent lighting. It was a jukebox on wheels. However, while Chrysler was building spaceships, another company was figuring out how to make a square box look like $1 million. At number 3, we have the undisputed king of the suburbs, the 1966 Ford Country Squire. Now, you might be thinking, the Country Squire? The car from the Brady Bunch? Yes, but strip away the pop culture jokes and look, really look at the design of the 1966 model. By the mid-60s, the curves were gone, the Coke bottle shape was in, but Ford went for something different, dignity. The 1966 Country Squire is a masterclass in rectangular proportions. It's clean, sharp, and incredibly long. Of course, we have to talk about the wood. It wasn't real wood, of course. It was fiberglass rails and Dynoc vinyl decals. But in 1966, this was the ultimate status symbol. It signaled that you had made it. It added a warmth, a texture to the cold steel body that softened the entire car. But the 1966 model had a secret weapon that changed the industry forever, the magic door gate. Before this, tailgates only folded down, but in 1966, Ford engineers created a hinge system that allowed the door to fold down flat or swing open sideways like a door. It was an engineering marvel hidden inside a luxury wrapper. Yet, despite the innovation, the Country Squire was still a box. What if you wanted a wagon that felt like a muscle car? What if you wanted to look up and see the stars? That brings us to number 2, the wagon that makes every child of the 60s and 70s ache with nostalgia, the 1968 Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser. If the Ford was dignity, the Vista Cruiser was adventure. The silhouette of this car is unforgettable. The roofline rises up over the rear seats, creating a raised observation deck. And embedded in that raised roof are those legendary skylights, curved glass panels that let the sunlight flood into the rear cabin. From the outside, it gives the car a forward-leaning, athletic stance, almost like a crouching animal. It broke the monotony of the flat roof. It made the car look distinct, special, and expensive. But the detail that makes the 68 model specifically stunning is the split. The rear fender swells out, mimicking the Oldsmobile muscle cars of the era, like the 442. This wasn't just a grocery getter. Under the hood, you could get a 400 cubic inch rocket V8. A little-known fact, that glass in the roof was a nightmare to engineer. Oldsmobile had to develop a special heat-rejecting tint because, in the early testing phases, the rear passengers were essentially being cooked by the greenhouse effect. They solved it, and in doing so, created one of the most iconic profiles in automotive history. So, we've seen the jet-age fins, the pillarless hardtop, the wood-paneled icon, and the glass-roofed cruiser. But none of them, not one, can touch the sheer, unadulterated sex appeal of our number 1 pick. This is the car that proves a wagon can be sexier than a sports car. This is the moment American design peaked. Number 1. The 1965 Pontiac Bonneville Safari. Just look at it. If you pause the video right now and stared at the front end, you wouldn't guess this is a station wagon. You'd think it was a GTO. 1965 was the year Pontiac embraced the Coke bottle look. The sides of the car pinch in at the center and flare out at the fenders, giving the car hips. It looks organic. It looks fast, standing still. The front end features those iconic stacked headlights, 2 on top of 2, flanking a split grille that creates a predatory, shark-like nose. This wasn't a friendly face like the Ford. This was a car that demanded you get out of the left lane. But follow the lines to the back. The roofline is slender, almost delicate, contrasting with the massive, heavy chrome bumpers. The rear taillights are hidden behind ribbed chrome louvers, so the back of the car looks like one solid piece of jewelry until you hit the brakes. And the interior? It was pure decadence. Walnut trim, deep pile carpet, and a dashboard filled with circular gauges that looked like they were ripped from a fighter jet. Here is the thing that makes the 65 Safari so heartbreakingly beautiful today. It represents a confidence we have lost. Pontiac didn't have to make this car look this good.
They could have just welded a box onto a sedan and called it a day, but they didn't. They treated the wagon with the same reverence, the same passion, and the same design budget as their high-performance coupes. They understood that just because you have a family, it doesn't mean you have to stop driving something that stirs your soul. The 1965 Bonneville Safari is the ultimate proof that practicality and beauty don't have to be enemies. We look at these cars today and we call them classics, but that word feels too dusty. These aren't just old cars. They are rolling testaments to a time when we dared to dream big, when chrome was king, when we didn't just drive to a destination, we drove for the joy of the journey. Which one of these legends would you park in your dream garage? The space-age Nomad, the sky-lit Vista Cruiser, or the muscle car swagger of the Pontiac? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to keep riding shotgun on this journey through automotive history, make sure you hit that subscribe button. There are thousands of forgotten legends out there waiting to be rediscovered. I'll see you in the next one. Drive safe.